Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a girl, Star Flames, and we are back baby with another banging video. So, if you're new or returning and you haven't subscribed as yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell and join the family. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and help your girl out. Now guys, in this video, we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian having a very, very challenging time raising her kids without their father's presence. Let's talk about it, shall we? Because things are definitely, as it seems, to be getting out of control as it relates to Kim Kardashian raising her kids. And as such, it is said that it is causing some concerns, right? So, what is going on is that Kim Kardashian, allegedly, so we have to say allegedly because there's no supporting evidence to what I'm about to share with you. But Kim Kardashian is having a bit of a challenging time with raising the kids, and she would like, she would have loved that their father was well enough to be hands-on and to be actually co-parenting with her, especially as it relates to where the boys are concerned. Kim knows that the boys needs to have a father figure around because oftentimes she speaks and they really don't listen. And she knows that with the presence of their dad, if he was well and hands-on, she knows that things would have been a bit easier. Now, normally, Kim would talk about these things and the internet would say, well, she filed for divorce and she should have expected to be a single parent because this is what happens when you file for a divorce. And that is so true. But also, I've been looking into a lot of things like going all the way back to when Wendy Williams was warning Kim that this would have happened to her. Wendy told her that she would have ended up being a single mom, and not just a single mom with an absentee dad, because even during her pregnancy, she was left alone. But at that point in time, Kim had the nannies, the kids were much younger and all of that, so it wasn't a big deal to her at that point in time. But now the kids are getting older and Kim is realizing the absence, like that gap of the father's absence. It is there. It is noticeable, and no nanny or nanny can fill that gap in their lives. And it is one thing she's having to deal with, one thing she's having to navigate through, because she knows that Ye is not well, to actually be there for the kids as she would like to. And she is very concerned as to how their father's absence is going to affect them as they get older. Like, she's very concerned if as they get older, they'll be able to build a bond and to build a connection with him, if he'll be able to have a relationship with his kids, or if they'll be like estranged strangers because of what is happening now. And I have to say that that is very mature of Kim to be thinking about, like, what's going to happen between Kanye and his kids as they get older. Will they have a tight-knit relationship, or as the kids get older, will the kids want to distance themselves away from their father because their father is not there now? And I have to say that that is pretty much admirable of Kim to be thinking of, and she's worried about how it may affect their kids and how the kids may look at the father, because even though Kanye is absent, and even though we know he's not well, for Kim to be sitting down and looking at all the pieces and say, you know what? I'm very afraid that as my kids get older, they may drift apart from their father. And this is very showing that this is one of the many reasons why Kim Kardashian did not move in to get full custody of the kids, because she really wants Kanye to have a relationship with his kids. But while she wants Kanye to have a relationship with his kids, she knows that it's not something she can force. She knows that she cannot call Kanye and say, okay, Kanye, it's your week to pick up and drop off. At one point in time, they had that kind of relationship going. But every time Kanye is invested in a new woman, the kids are put on the back burner, and Kanye showing off the world with the new woman is Kanye's priority. And she understands that all of that has to do with his mental health. But for now, Kim is becoming more and more saddened and depressed as the day progresses, because her kids are getting older. And while her kids are getting older and she can afford them all the luxury of this earth, and she can give them all the love that she can as a mother, their father is alive, and she is realizing more and more for the father to be present in their life and to have some kind of connection with the kids. And what she's observing is that the kids are drifting from their father, because it's as though they're saying their father is not pushing to be in their lives. They don't understand it, even though she tries to get them professional help to explain to them and let them understand the mental challenges that the father is dealing with. The kids cannot understand why it is that the father is not getting the help that he truly needs to be a better father to them, so they can have a better relationship. And as such, Kim is concerned if, at some point in time when they become teenagers, late teens, will they be passing each other on the streets like teenagers? It's not something she's accustomed to in her family dynamics, and it's definitely not something that she wants for her kids. But she understands that there are things that are out of her control, but even though it is out of her control, it doesn't make it easier for her to accept. So for now, she's having a really, really difficult time with not having the kids' father in their lives, even as the kids would like. Occasional, school events, occasional pick up and drop off. We know Kanye used to do that, right? If you guys can remember, Kanye was doing that even back in 2022. We would see Kanye at a few kids' game. We would see, Kim and Kanye, giving each other that Sunday service hug, and we would talk and laugh about it. But at least she said that it's rare, but at least there used to be that occasional pop-up from Kanye West, but that is no longer there. But she's hoping that Kanye can reconnect with his kids. Now, I definitely hope that Kanye can reconnect with his kids. And while everything may seem so distant at this point in time, nothing is impossible. Kanye just needs to get help. And this is why I say you can tell when Kanye is not okay. And I don't know how people call themselves Kanye fans and they're not able to tell the telltale signs of when Kanye is not okay, because when Kanye is not okay, he doesn't show up for any of the school events. When Kanye is okay, even if he's not perfectly okay. Even if he's a little bit on the edge, you bet your ass he's gonna show up for the kids' game. He's gonna show up to that PTA. He's gonna show up to that recital. He's gonna be there. But for now, Kanye is not there. And those are just some of the telltale signs that he's really not even half of his best. If you're a Kanye fan, go back and you need to go back through the years. Go back through the past 6 years. Look at Kanye's behavior when it comes to the kids and their school activities versus now with Kanye and the kids and the school activities, and you'll know that the guy is really not okay. But people, because they have that disconnect in your family, and this is something that I notice with social media. If they didn't have a thing, they think that it is okay for someone else's kids not to have it because they didn't have it and they did well without it. So Kim and Kanye's kids should be doing well without it. And I find that to be a sick and very twisted concept. Not because your parent or both parents did not have a healthy co-parenting relationship, and not because your mom and or dad wasn't there hands and feet for you, it doesn't mean that should be okay for Kim and Kanye's kids. The kids needs their father, and I do hope, by the grace of God, Kanye gets back to the point where he can show up for the kids at most of these activities. Now, another thing is that people often say Kanye is better being outside the United States, and it appears as though he's better being outside the United States for a fact. And the reason for that is because of how easily and readily available drugs and other substances are. Many people are not catching the play. When Kanye is in the US, drugs and other substances, the nitrous oxide, it's easily available, easily accessible to him. He has his nitrous oxide dentist he can hook up with, and as such, he goes to his nitrous oxide dentist, gets that hookup, and then he hacks a hot goddamn mess. When he goes to other countries, those things, not saying that it's not there, but it's not so easily and readily available. Hence why when he's away from the US, he may appears to have some more stability, right, than when he's in the United States. And the fix is not easy because remember, when someone has an addiction, it's a disease. It's a mental disease. And just imagine a drug addiction coupled with a mental disorder. He is fighting literal nightmares day in, day out. And when there's such a challenge, he needs to have a community, not a group of enablers around him. He needs a group of people who are going to consistently fight for him. Even when it gets exhausting for them to fight for him, they're not going to give up on him. And I think that Kanye should be traveling the world, exploring these treatment facilities and these treatment centers. I've seen so many videos on TikTok with people exploring a lot of treatment facilities, a lot of treatment centers, and many of these people have been getting help. So I'm going to keep saying it until Kanye gets it, until he gets the message, until he starts visiting these treatment facilities and these treatment centers, because there's one thing I know. I know for a fact that the only thing that evil needs to survive is for good people to stand aside and not do nothing. Only if his fan base would push harder and encourage him to find treatment facilities and centers across the world geared towards his medical conditions and the addiction that he's been battling over the years. Because Kanye's addiction, it's not just today, it's not just yesterday, it's not just last year. The only thing is that it keeps getting worse. And it's time for this cycle to end. And in order for the cycle to end, he has to find these treatment facilities and centers who are dedicated to these, to targeting and permanently curing his addiction and focusing and targeting his mental health. Going or doing 2 to 3 weeks at a rehabilitation clinic, that's not good enough. That, I can tell you, did not fix Kanye. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Kim Kardashian wanting her kids to have a father, wanting the father to be physically present for the kids, but knowing what is going on with his mental health, she is concerned if the kids are gonna drift away from their dad as they get older, and how will this affect her children? And any mother would be very concerned about that and would definitely not want this type of lifestyle for her children. No mother wants this for the kids. But anywho, guys, let me know what's your 2 cents on the matter. While you're at it, do all you need to do on this video to support your girl. Peace.